Hey everybody, it's Kevin here at Classic. Last time we spoke and we made one of these videos, we talked about how we were going to be using our own offices as sort of a test bed for the new office environments that we've been working on, the dividers and how to make your offices safe and also give them an opportunity to brand existing office spaces. So I'm excited to show you today kind of the final reveal. Our employees aren't back yet, but they will be soon, so they have their desk areas to get ready, but we've got all the walls up, we've got our graphics up, and I'm excited to, especially when you see what it used to look like, excited to show you what it looks like now. All right, come on in. All right, so as you come in, the first thing you notice is we've got branding up and down the outside aisles. We've got branding up high. For our own space, we chose to put some spines up tall that have some of our branding messages on there. We're not just different, we're better, and a lot of our shared success mottos. So, but let's get into some of the details. I'll show you what kind of makes up the different panels and what makes them a little bit unique. Last time I showed you how quick and simple the Gravitee version of the wall systems goes together. It's just a simple plunger, steel plunger, with some guide clips to help. But you really only have to lift a panel or a connector that high, and then when you slide together, it locks right in. That's how every single panel goes together, and that's how every single corner goes together. All right, now as it relates to surfaces, there's a ton of different surfaces you can do. You can do acrylics, you can do dye bond, we can do printed graphics, hard surface graphics. As you can see in our offices, we took an approach of going with a magnetic board, which is great. So people can hang their calendars, hang their detail sheets, all those sorts of things. Plus, what's really great is, I think I showed last time, it's a grease board, right? Which is super awesome for especially our project managers and our detailers who want to, sort of idea some things out. But then you can see on the exterior, we chose, again, to do branding. These are just simple SEG fabric graphics, and I'll show you how that works in a second, but easy to apply. You can change these out, you can wash them if need be. But where it really gets exciting is we move over here, and this is something that we have that's really just particular to Classic, which is a thin, about 2.5 inch wide panel that you can put an SEG graphic on and backlighted. So when I pull the SEG graphic back, you can see the lighting is in there. So it's just a way to spruce up an existing graphic that you might want to put on one of your wall frames. One of the other cool things that we have built into the frames, you can see the wire management, and I'll talk about that on the other walls when we get to them, but that's where we can feed all the power through. But also, you'll see we've got, again, these adjustable feet, so depending on what it is, these will just turn with a simple flathead screw, and you can lift the panel up if you got an unlevel floor. But it makes it really versatile if you're even having to try to run some wire underneath or whatever, you can just lift and raise them even after the walls are assembled. So we're just talking about wire management, right? So all of these are clad with the magnetic grease board. But what's also great is if I move this back, you see we've got just one little pigtail power strip coming out from underneath, and the black phone line, which is also the computer line for their workstation, coming out. That is strung all the way back to the back wall. So every single one of these has the wires strung right through it to the workstation. The unique thing about our workspace is there is no floor power, and actually all the power and communications for the office are actually against that wall. So we were able to just pull everything right through the panels out towards the main aisle. Okay, one of the things you'll notice that we did was in between workers, we didn't want them to be completely blocked off from one another, so we wanted to have some clear acrylic where people had connectivity to the person who was next to them. So one of the great things about our extrusions is we can build off of them with any number of our already engineered extrusions from the Classic Modular line. And so by building off that wall, we were able to create simple clear acrylic barriers that go in between them. So helps dampen down a little bit of the sound, but more importantly, in this case, it gives Alex and Paris some visibility to each other so they don't feel like they're totally blocked out. one of the things that's come up over the last several weeks as we've been working on these projects and starting to deploy them is, what do you do if the client already has some existing office dividers from other brands, more corporate, traditional corporate office dividers and separators, is find out what the width is of those. They don't necessarily want to do a full investment of new partitions, but they want to still be able to lift those up. Most of those standards are only in the sort of 4 foot to maybe 5 foot range, but in order to get them up to maybe a safer 6 foot distance, they want something to add on top. So this is actually quite a bit higher, what we're showing right here, because this is already a 6 foot wall. But what we came up with, and these will end up being powder coated in white, black, or in a silver as standard. But if we can get the color sample of, or get a close PMS color match for what the client's current office dividers are, we can powder coat these to match. And it's just an adjustable bracket that will then fit right over the top of an existing wall, and they will adjust from about 1.5 inches up to almost 3.5 inches. There's 2 sizes that allow you to do that. But then we just got a little simple bracket that sits on top that you can drop a piece of acrylic in, frosted, clear, milk. You could put a printed graphic up there that maybe calls out the department if you want. And then without having to have a tool, you have a simple clear thumb screw that then pushes and pressure fits the acrylic, which you can see up here is then pressure fit in there. It's a great, simple, easy way. These are raw versions, but it's a great, simple, easy way to lift up an existing wall without having to buy all brand new walls to go into an office. All right, so back here we actually have our, this is where we bind some custom setup instructions that we make, but we also have a sample of a more basic, economical, quick deploy way of partitioning off someone's existing desks. To be honest, these we have been seeing a huge activity out of. We've been selling a lot of these. They're great for working in banks and different corporate environments where there's already existing desks, even in some office environments where they were traditionally open and they just had not necessarily assigned seating. We can create real quick, easy barriers that can assemble and go right around people's desks. And then if they actually have some back-to-back desks, we've been doing a lot of just these real simple flat dividers which can then set right on top of a desk, blocking it from one another. In our environment, we really wanted a way that would kind of bookend the space for us and also provide some branding for some brand messaging that I referenced before. And again, this is just a simple SEG fabric graphic, simple frame, no tools to assemble. It actually sets right on top of the walls, and then there's just a simple lock key that you push up and lock the frame right in place. Real easy to install, and again, easy to change too. If a company ever decides they want to change what their brand messaging is, or maybe this is calling out a department that might work in this particular area, and now this is going to be design instead of project management, this is a real simple thing to change out. So before, when I was talking about the wire management and how it was looped in through the panels, here you can see this actually goes all the way back to the wall, and then for every single station we have power coming all the way through, dropping out the bottom, and then they've got a power strip. Plus we have their internet line which is coming directly off that same wall, and again it just goes straight through all the panels and then drops straight down into that person's workstation. Makes it super easy. All right, one other thing I want to take the opportunity to show you is the hand sanitizing stations that we've been making. We've been making a series of different models. This is just one of them, one that actually you can brand. This is branded for one of our great distributor partners back east. It's got a stainless steel plate on here that will basically hold any brand of sanitizer dispenser. So, and they actually just adhere right to the plate. Other great thing is the same plate, exact same shape and everything. We have a version which you can then take and mount to any wall. So you don't necessarily have to have a stand. If you just want to have one that then just mounts to a wall, it comes with this plate. Then we also have an economic version of it that you'll see in our gallery that is just a flat plate on a single post and then has sanitizer attached to it as well. So we've got a lot of different options there. You can do different color powder coating if you want, all the way down to just or high-end versions that have different color powder coating and graphics, all the way down to some very, very basic units. all of which, except for the wall mount, all of which are ones that you can then take and place wherever you want in your business.